In a lost season that will be largely remembered for failures, the Mariners found a way to beat the defending World Series champions. The 9-0 victory Wednesday night, the Mariners won the season series against the Houston Astros, 10-9. Houston, given how the games had played out over the past few seasons, it didn't seem possible for the Mariners to do this. They haven't just struggled to beat the Astros of late, they have found a myriad ways to lose games, whether it was getting drubbed in blowouts or having their hearts broken in late-inning defeat, and now in a lost season that will be largely remembered for failures. The Mariners found a way to beat the defending World Series champions more times in a season than losing to them. With the 9-0 victory Wednesday night, the Mariners won the season series against the Houston Astros. Seattle roughed up starter Dallas Keuchel for 5 runs, including 3 in the first inning and leaving a knot on the back of his head in the process. Meanwhile, a collection of relievers making a bullpen start gave the Mariners a better-than-expected outing, 9 shutout innings, in hitter-friendly Minute Maid Park. To throw up 9 zeros up there is hard to do, especially against this team in this ballpark, Seattle manager Scott Servais said. Guys were really sharp tonight, gotta give them a ton of credit. It was a good result. Seattle finished with a 10-9 record against Houston this season. A 4-game sweep of the Astros in early August at Minute Maid when their roster was ravaged by injuries helped change the Mariners' success against the best team in the American League West. Their reward for the accomplishment, nothing. The Mariners know winning a season series against a playoff team means nothing when you fail to make the playoffs. They not sputtered so badly in mid-July to August. The significance of this might have more meaning. Perhaps the mental barrier of playing the Astros, particularly in Houston, has been broken. The Mariners went 7-2 at Minute Maid Park this season, compared to 3-7 last season. We've played well here all year, Servais said. Our guys enjoy coming in here, they swing the bats well here. I think a few of our guys get energized here for whatever reason. It might be the fact they won the World Series last year and they certainly had our number here in the past. One of our goals was to play better against them and we certainly have. It's nice coming in here and beating them, no doubt. Over the past 3 seasons, including the dismal 5-14 overall record last season, the Mariners were a combined 20-37 against the Astros. When Houston entered the American League West, the Mariners went 10-9 in 2013 and 2014 against squads that were in the process of tanking for a rebuild, a process that so many Mariners fans want their own team to embark upon this offseason. As the Astros' young talent was cultivated along with the surprising emergence of Jose Altuve from a random international signing to the AL MVP, Houston has become the class of the division. Another division title is expected and a run toward the World Series is a possibility. And the Mariners? Well, winning a season series doesn't erase the overall failures that will have them watching the Astros in the postseason for another year. To be fair, the Mariners are still putting out largely competitive performances in the final weeks of the season, which is expected of professional athletes. Though it has to be a little galling for Servais to see an increase of quality at-bats and run production after they were no longer a realistic contender in the playoff race. To be completely honest, yes, it is tough to see that, Servais said. I think that was the frustrating thing going through the struggles we did in August and early September. You know it's in there, but it wasn't consistently showing up and the lineup wasn't flowing. Seattle beat up on Keuchel in the first inning. Mitch Haniger led off with a single and Jean Segura followed with a double. Robinson Cano sent Haniger home with a single to left and Segura later scored on a wild pitch. With 1 out and runners on the corners, Kyle Seager hit a rocket comebacker to the mound. The ball ricocheted off the back of Keuchel's head and flew into right field for a run-scoring single. Mariners, stats, scores, standings. The play brought back bad flashbacks for Seager, who hit a line drive off the head of Matt Shoemaker on Sept. 4, 2016 that fractured his skull and required surgery. After a long conversation with the athletic trainer and manager A.J. Hinch, Keuchel remained in the game. It was a relief for Seager. Nobody likes that stuff, Seager said. Thankfully he's okay. It scared me pretty bad. I saw a ball going back at him. I couldn't tell if his glove touched it first, but I could definitely see it hit his head. You could kind of hear the thud a little bit. It's terrible. I don't like that. The scary moment seemed to awaken Keuchel because he retired the next 12 batters in a row. But Seattle got to him again in the fifth. Haniger worked a leadoff walk and then later came around to score on Cano's double into the left center gap. While Cano got the RBI, Haniger did all the work. The relay throw from shortstop Marvin Gonzalez actually beat Haniger to the plate. But, similar to a slide last week, Haniger slid well wide of the plate to avoid the tag from catcher Martin Maldonado without touching home plate. Haniger then quickly scrambled to tap home with his hand before Maldonado realized home plate umpire Trip Gibson hadn't made a call on the original play. I knew I didn't touch it, so I had to go back, Haniger said. If I would have went in with my hand and tried to swipe the plate on the slide, he would have got me. I tried to maneuver around him, said Survey. Unbelievable slide. It shows what kind of athlete he is to make that adjustment to get around the tag. Nelson Cruz later added a run-scoring single in the inning to make it 5-0. The Mariners blew the game open against the Astros bullpen with a homer barrage. Seager smashed his 22nd homer of the season off reliever Brad Peacock. Prodigious solo blast went into the second deck in right field. Haniger continued his torrid hitting pace, launching his 26th homer of the season past left field to start the seventh. Cano drove in his third run of the night with his second run-scoring double to make it 8-0. Guillermo Heredia even got into the long ball parade, sneaking a fly ball into the Crawford boxes past left field for a solo homer in the eighth. The excessive run support was ideal for the cadre of Mariners relievers. Rookie Matt Festa got the start, and pitched a scoreless first inning, retiring All-Stars George Springer, Altuve and Alex Bregman in order. It was slightly different than facing the Class AA Tulsa Drillers or any other team in the Texas League. Yeah, it's not quite the Tulsa Drillers, he said with a laugh. It's good experience. It's about just getting after guys like any game and not worrying about who's in the box. From there, Survey paraded reliever after reliever to the mound to fill out the 9 innings of scoreless baseball. Casey Lawrence, 1-0, worked innings 2 through 4 to get credit for the victory. Adam Warren, 5th, and Sean Armstrong, 6th, were able to work around multiple base runners for scoreless frames. Zach Duke, 7th, and Justin Grimm, 8th, and Ronis Elias, 9th, secured the shutout. 7 pitchers combined to give up 5 hits with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts.